Chapter 4. In the Distance. I watched the dust rise as the horses were speeding away. I couldn't get my eyes off of them. The colours of Radzig's coat of arms fleetingly appearing in the dirt cloud as they were fading into the distance. The shadows grew behind the city walls as the sun was falling asleep. Hanush and Radzik were talking for so outrageously long, and yet again I was being treated like a little boy who can't lift a finger by himself. Like I haven't fought my battles and proven myself so many times. I'm the rightful ruler of Ratai, for crying out loud. But that bastard Hanush won't admit that. He would simply turn a blind eye to it any time I tried to bring it up. It was as good as talking to a stone wall. I hate not being included, as if I couldn't handle the cruelty of reality. I hate not being seen for my actions. I've done so much, achieved so much. It's still I'm but a mere nipper in Hanush's eyes. I leaned on the bulwark. It wasn't a pleasant feeling. The wall was stone cold, which is what it was made of anyway. I tilted myself a bit forwards, trying to see where Radzig's company was heading. It was definitely not back to Vesela. I clenched my fist and smacked it against the top of the wall in frustration. Is it too much to ask to at least know what the hell is going on? I sighed and instinctively ran my hand through my hair. If Henry was here, he would be all concerned, asking me what's going on. I lowered my hand and glanced at it. He really knew me better than I ever did myself. I looked back at the horizon, a cold breeze messing up my hair. Autumn was definitely approaching us. I closed my eyes and let myself calm down in the present moment. Finally left alone for at least a minute. Since she arrived, Yitka has been literally glued to my hip. I hated every second of it. The mere thought of that being just a smidge of what our joint life was going to be like was giving me a terrific headache. It was not her fault that she knew no one but me and Hanush, but still, I would gladly pay up if anybody offered to lock her away from me for at least a day for a few groschen. Suddenly, I felt a big palm on my right shoulder. I almost jumped into the air like a stray cat. I swiftly turned around to face whoever creeped up on me. Surprisingly, it was Hanush. How could I have not noticed him coming of all people? He and his heavy steps were to be heard anywhere in the castle when he decided to move his noble ass somewhere else. The silent footsteps almost felt intentional, and even if they weren't, still very out of character for him. What were you discussing with Radzik? I blurted out without a second thought. I need to know. I hate being left uninitiated into this state of affairs. Something's wrong, and not knowing what it is was eating me alive from the inside. Hanush groaned and almost rolled his eyes. I almost did so myself, as I knew exactly what was coming. Hans, you are not... I knew exactly what he wanted to say. That I'm not mature enough, not experienced enough, not important enough. Haven't I proven myself adequately? Have you forgotten everything that happened during my and Henry's... I tipped on my words when all the memories of mine and Henry's adventures came mercilessly rushing into my mind. During our deliverance of the message for Bergov. I'm not a mere child anymore, Hanush. I have matured, and I believe you do know so yourself. I took a breath, ready to continue my speech, but Hanush was quicker. It's Kumans, Hanush sighed with an annoyed resignation. He stepped closer to the town wall, leaned on it, and looked into the distance where Radzig's horses could be seen only a few moments ago. I scowled at his answer. This didn't make no sense. What do you mean, Kumans? They mostly wandered off after Sigismund left to go back to Hungary. There were not enough of them left to cause any problems. It was obvious Hanush felt some degree of uneasiness whilst talking about this matter. This was unusual. He would usually throw tantrums when something didn't go along with the ideal reality he had envisioned. Now he seemed almost calm and collected, a very unusual sight. There is some fellow, a headman perhaps, that has decided to gather them. We don't know who he is, where he's getting the money, or why he's gathering an army. He paused for a brief moment, still staring outside the city walls. You mustn't leave the gates of this town until we resolve this. Hanush looked me in the eyes. He knew I would never agree to that, but he was dead serious this time. Do you understand, Hans? I glared at him, and he glared back with a dead serious expression on his face. What other option did I have? He wasn't asking this of me. It was an order. I was basically about to be a prisoner in my own castle. How infuriating. But I knew I couldn't do a thing about it, and it was driving me mad. Oh, if only a gallant knight in shiny armor would show up and save me like in those fairy tales my nanny used to tell me when I was just a little brat with snot running down his nose and no care in the world. Fine, I get it. I won't leave Pirkstein. I rolled my eyes and snorted. I'm no animal to be kept locked up like this. It's ridiculous and infuriating, but what other choice do I have? Hannah simply nodded, not acknowledging my unpleasant tone of voice. One more thing, I raised an eyebrow. You need to forget about the wench you're seeing. I blinked at him in confusion. What the hell was he talking about? A wench? I'm seeing no wench. I nearly snickered at his ridiculous remark. I stopped caring about the girls of humble origins a long time ago. I took a step back and looked him in the eyes. Oh, come on. You'd come I'd be oblivious, but I can tell you're getting your age scratched by someone else. I stared at him blankly, not moving a single muscle in my face. What? Do you really think I'll believe you're not shagging some bumpkin girl? Who else? Henry? He let out a loud belly laugh. I couldn't bring myself to laugh along, so I turned around and did my best to act like I heard nothing. I fixed my eyes onto the darkening horizon and took a few deep, silent breaths. I had to collect my composure. I can't break down. Not now when Hanush can see.